Franz Kafka quotes. A book must be the axe for the frozen sea within us. I am a cage, in search of a bird. Many a book is like a key to unknown chambers within the castle of one's own self. Don't bend, don't water it down, don't try to make it logical, don't edit your own soul according to the fashion. Rather, follow your most intense obsessions mercilessly. Youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. I am free, and that is why I am lost. I write differently from what I speak differently from what I think differently from the way I ought to think, and so it all proceeds into deepest darkness. I cannot make you understand. I cannot make anyone understand what is happening inside me. I cannot even explain it to myself. A first sign of the beginning of understanding is the wish to die. The meaning of life is that it stops. All language is but a poor translation. A non-writing writer is a monster courting insanity. July 5, 1922. You do not need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. Do not even listen, simply wait, be quiet, still and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked, it has no choice, it will roll in ecstasy at your feet. Books are a narcotic. I think we ought to read only the kind of books that wound and stab us. By believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired. Slept, awoke, miserable life. Paths are made by walking. I have the true feeling of myself only when I am unbearably unhappy. It's only because of their stupidity that they're able to be so sure of themselves. Writing is utter solitude, the descent into the cold abyss of oneself. There is an infinite amount of hope in the universe, but not for us. I am in chains. Don't touch my chains. He is terribly afraid of dying because he hasn't yet lived. Now I can look at you in peace, I don't eat you anymore. I usually solve problems by letting them devour me. I have spent all my life resisting the desire to end it. I do not speak as I think, I do not think as I should, and so it all goes on in helpless darkness. Love is, that you are the knife which I plunge into myself. I never wish to be easily defined. I'd rather float over other people's minds as something strictly fluid and non-perceivable, more like a transparent, paradoxically iridescent creature rather than an actual person. Better to have, and not need, than to need, and not have. I miss you deeply, unfathomably, senselessly, terribly. As Gregor Samsa awoke one morning from uneasy dreams, he found himself transformed in his bed into a gigantic insect. This tremendous world I have inside of me. How to free myself, and this world, without tearing myself to pieces. And rather tear myself to 1,000 pieces than be buried with this world within me. They say ignorance is bliss. They're wrong. You are at once both the quiet and the confusion of my heart. I need solitude for my writing, not like a hermit, that wouldn't be enough, but like a dead man. In man's struggle against the world, bet on the world. I'm tired, can't think of anything and want only to lay my face in your lap, feel your hand on my head and remain like that through all eternity. May I kiss you then? On this miserable paper? I might as well open the window and kiss the night air. L'éternité, c'est long, surtout vers la fin. You can hold yourself back from the sufferings of the world, that is something you are free to do and it accords with your nature, but perhaps this very holding back is the one suffering you could avoid. My peers, lately, have found companionship through means of intoxication. It makes them sociable. I, however, cannot force myself to use drugs to cheat on my loneliness. It is all that I have, and when the drugs and alcohol dissipate, will be all that my peers have as well. Beyond a certain point there is no return. This point has to be reached. April 27th. Incapable of living with people, of speaking. Complete immersion in myself, thinking of myself. Apathetic, witless, fearful. I have nothing to say to anyone, never. Love is a drama of contradictions.